Local stores are being pushed out of business by corporate-owned giants everywhere, but ET Surf thrives. They've been serving the action sports community for 5 decades and are still holding strong. I want to find out what the heck makes this place a success. What are they doing different? Join me on my deep dive into this local landmark, which has deep ties to the surf, skate and snowboard community and culture. Tschou zämä. My name is René. For this episode, I'm excited to meet with Daniel Del Castillo, a longtime manager at ET Surf. This is a story about how sometimes all it takes is caring. I'm here with Daniel at ET Surf, which is, in my view, the most iconic surf shop in California. Can you tell us a little bit about the beginning, how it all came about?
Eddie Talbot, basically built the foundation because of his personality, because of basically who he was. He cares. He instilled in anybody that was employed with him or ET that the customer
that DNA
comes first, the DNA. He was the best mentor, or is the best mentor, to his employees to this day.
I remember, like, back in the days, I always thought, oh, working in a surf shop, that must be the greatest ever. Is that true?
It's definitely been a dream come true for myself. It is one of those jobs that are very fortunate to have. So a lot of the guys basically have been working here for years, so it's hard to get a job here.
What are the tough parts?
The toughest part is just to keep basically, you know, everybody across the board happy. But then again, it's not that tough if you really kind of figure out what a person needs, and you just tend to that.
Would you mind taking us through a typical day?
Yeah, of course. Here at ET, what we first start with is turning on all the lights and then opening up the floodgate right there. We'll have the registers all fired up to start accepting the cash and the credit cards. Hopefully at that point, we're so bombarded by customers that that's all we're doing during the day, is helping customers. Our priority of work here is customers first, always. And then what happens is we get deliveries throughout the day from UPS and FedEx. We usually accept all the goods through this back door right here. They'll pull their trucks up, sometimes run into the building, and then drop off all our boxes. So as you can see, there's a bunch of boxes here. This normally is our snowboard room during the snow season, but during summertime we use it for receiving. We just started stocking e-bikes a couple years ago. Murph and Super 73 are the two more common ones in the surf culture.
Do you also have a mechanic?
They prefer that the company works on it. So the service would be through Murph or Super 73 by contacting them and then dropping the bike off to them. We got snow tunes that goes on back here. But as far as getting back to the receiving throughout the day, if we have no customers to help, then we get the new merchandise out in the racks by alarming it and hanging it and merchandising.
Got it. Is every item computerized?
It's in our computer.
And because it's then in the system, it allows you to kind of, you know, have a dashboard.
There's full history. History of how fast something's selling. There's a slow seller, fast seller report that we follow. It's, you know, obviously another way to see when we need an item.
Yes.
To reorder it. Over in this area, This is where we keep our longboards and our mid-ranges. We have our materials back here if anybody wants to build a surfboard or repair them. And then out here, or let's stay in this zone, this is our women's section. We carry Rip Curl Women's, Billabong, Ruka, Volcom, Roxy.
You basically cover everything.
Yeah, and then we have a ton of men's stuff from all various brands as well. Salty Crew, Hurley, Billabong, Patagonia, Quicksilver, we got Volcom. This is the main section here, the ET stuff. We got a ton of ET hats, shirts, started dabbing into trunks and shorts and walk shirts. This is a very cool local brand, M1SK, Daniel Inez, local guy who comes up with some super funny stuff. And then as you get up into our accessory land, we got all the sunscreen you need. We got Yeti coolers, beach towels, sunglasses, and then also huge inventory of Carver skateboards, which Carver skateboards emulate surfing on the concrete. Back behind the counter is where we keep all of our trick skateboards, popsicle decks, whatever you want to call it.
Well, it looks so great. Like, it's, this wall alone is legendary.
There's still an upstairs. We call this Stairway to Heaven.
There's a reason for that.
Yes. It's very heavenly when you get to the top. As far as the surfboard inventory goes, we have over about 700 shortboards. We have Channel Islands right here. We have Firewire, these 3 racks. We have some Sharp Eye, some JS, good section of Paizel, Rusty, Hayden Shapes, and then we have some Chili's. But that's not it. We have bodyboards, softboards, tons of used boards.
Yes, I think mine is still here.
I'll try to sell that today.
Okay, good.
But only to somebody that needs it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, yeah.
This side, we have a bunch of Lost. So Lost carries all the way down to the front. Inside this cage, try to open it really quick to show you our fin inventory, which is amazing. We stock pretty much everything. I mean, and fins make a difference, for sure.
Yes.
For those who are ever wondering if changing your fins out on your surfboard would make it surf differently, it definitely will. And then here's your little trinkets and stuff that you need for everyday surf. We have kids' wetsuits and a ton of men's wetsuits. 4.3s, 3.2 spring suits, everything you need to be comfortable and warm in the water. And I forgot to mention we have women's wetsuits along the back wall there too. So we have everything covered.
And there is AC in the changing room, which is extremely convenient for trying on wetsuits. What's your secret for being so successful?
The secret formula is we don't sell, we gather information from the customer and we get them what they need. Our job is to have what the customer needs. So the sales will come then. But the main thing is just giving somebody, you know, all the information, all the knowledge that we know on the items that they're coming in looking for and letting them decide.
This is so smart because that creates repeat customers.
Sure. I mean, in any business, that's the goal. Sustainability is treating people right, getting them exactly what they came in looking for.
ET Surf is unique. On the one hand, there is hardly any new product from the surf, skate, snowboard industry that you don't carry in your shop. On the other hand, I don't see much fancy lighting or super expensive display systems. Can you tell us more about that secret formula for your success?
Yeah, so that's always been one of Eddie's pet peeves, is we try to make whatever we can. You know, whether it's signs, cardboard signs. He was a big fan of having cardboard signs. I know he's definitely not a fan of these prefabbed racks, but unfortunately they've worked their way into the shop, but not preferred. Preferred is to have it built by someone local, have it built by the company, but something unique to the shop. Which takes us to like this rack here, which was built by you know, somebody who actually put together this side of the store here. Actually, here's a picture of Eddie Talbot and Greg Knoll. Eddie and Pat Ryan working for Greg Knoll right there. That's kind of where it all started. Throughout this shop, you have to look at the ceilings, you have to look at the walls, and you have to look deeply.
Can you give us some examples?
So examples are basically just all the posters that are on the ceilings that are signed, let's say from anywhere from 1980s, possibly late 70s to current. But they're not strategically placed in the store. They're just slapped up everywhere. Half of them are falling off, but the deal is not to touch them.
So that's interesting. So it's just a continuous museum that grows over time.
You are to layer a new poster over an old poster. But we also have some pros boards. We have McFannings, we have Dane Reynolds, we have Owen Wright. This one is Taj Burrow, Michelle Perez,
so cool.
Craig Anderson. Here, this was Parco's. And then we got some old ET ones from the 70s and the 80s. Stairway to Heaven pretty much just explains the shop's history. A lot of pictures from the community, like local people, surfing, skateboarding, team riders that we've had over the years, employees. Here's a picture of Teresa Gamboa, who used to work here, one of my mentors, surfing Malibu. We got Kevin Anderson on these walls. Like I was saying, you got to pretty much look in all the crevices. In that beam right there, you have some fins from the 70s, 80s. A lot of things that are overlooked. In these joists right here, you got all these old skateboards. Basically, the ceilings and the walls definitely are a museum.
You should offer a tourist tour. You know?
Yeah, we get people that come in here just to kind of walk around, just to wind down from a week's work or a hard day at work. I get that quite often.
Can you briefly explain your thinking process when someone comes into the shop and wants to sell you a new product?
So for us, I mean, the place is packed to the gills. Every corner of the store is filled up with goods. As far as bringing in new merchandise, it's tough, and it's tough because there's not much space for it. But our main thing is having what customers want. So if we're getting customers coming in asking for an item or a product or a brand that we don't have consistently, then we start investigating it, looking for that brand and giving it a trial.
So it's interesting, it's less a sales rep driven process rather than a customer oriented need that you will react to?
Okay, so that it's a balance. We definitely jump aboard on the items and the products that people are asking for constantly. But when there is something new, like Julian Wilson's line or Bob Hurley's new line, or guys that have been in the industry or are the industry that are creating something new, we try to jump on that right away.
Hey Julian, what does it mean for your brand and for you, for your clothing, to be in an iconic surf shop like ET Surf?
Yeah, for Revere Projects to live in ET Surf Shop is, it's an incredible feeling. So much history with this shop. It's been here for so long. It's like you walk around and take in the character and flair of the shop. It's like, to be here, it feels like I've done something pretty good. It's special to have a little piece of this shop. I feel honored to be here, to be honest.
What is ET Surf's mission?
The mission is to see it succeed.
Coming in, I was thinking about how much does like online sales impact you guys, or Amazon getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Is that something that you think has an impact, or not even necessarily?
They definitely have an impact. We look at those as competitors, but we also need to make sure that we compete with them. So, if somebody's shopping online, they see something cheaper, our whole motto is we meet or beat any price. So come in here and try that wetsuit on and get the same price that you would get it, online if they're offering something cheaper.
So that's smart. You basically eliminate that they, kind of have a price advantage, but you have the advantage of the haptic experience. You can touch it, you can try it, you can literally see it in the real world, and nothing beats that.
Exactly. A lot of these goods, need that. They need the actual touch, feel, try on.
Last personal question for you. Do you have any tips or tricks for living a happy life? What would be your recipe?
Working here at ET.
Here's my takeaway. If your passion is to start your own business, remember this. It is not about persuading the customer to buy your product. It's about caring about what your customer needs and making that your product. What is your takeaway? Let me know in the comments. Hey, if you like this episode, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Tschou.
Bye for now.